and welcome to the Bunch of Punts Betting Podcast, your specialist show for football long shot bets. Matthew O'Regan's alongside me as ever. How are you doing, buddy?
Yeah, I've recovered from the pure heartbreak from the weekend, and I'm slowly getting better. But I just can't wait till football's done now.
What an emotional few day, emotional roller coaster going from that on Saturday. Alice winning the FA Cup, by the way, listeners, if you're not aware, and then Brighton winning last night.
Yeah, but still
I couldn't
nothing can
actually,
top Saturday's upsetness. But we'll get there.
yeah, I tried messaging you a few times Saturday. Your phone must have been broken or something because I couldn't get hold of you.
My phone is for you those watching on YouTube. You can see it. My phone is fucked, and it just dies randomly. Luckily on Saturday it died, but I got back, just went out on the night out. I woke up the Sunday, just had tons of messages from people like taking a piss. I was like, oh, I just don't want to go on my phone today either.
Yeah, absolutely sickening because you said, I don't know if it was on the show or before we started recording, when I said I've got bets for the Palace game, you was like, definitely Palace to win Dean Henderson card. But I didn't do it. A fucking idiot.
Yeah,
And people have
I
been
knew it was gonna. I
saying,
knew it was gonna happen.
well, why didn't you?
Jammy bastards. No, because
Yeah,
I could never, in good faith, bet on them.
you bet with your head.
Nope, not with it. Not when it comes to them.
Good news for me is any bets regarding Sheffield Wednesday are usually them to be relegated at the start of the season, and I don't mind doing that one bit.
But yeah, I
Right.
can't do that with Palace these days, so don't have that
I wish you
luxury.
could back him to finish 12th.
I know, be a banker every year.
Probably like 1-2 on though. Right, why are we here? It's a Europa League Final special. We've got a series. It's one of a series of probably 5 shows because we're going to try and do it for each of the playoff finals this weekend. We've got Championship Saturday, League One and League Two Sunday, Monday. I don't know which way around it is. I'm assuming it's chronological. And then
Yeah.
will it be the Champions League Final next Wednesday?
No, the Champions League final is. Okay, I'm gonna have to my
Saturday?
mates to watch it. It's a Saturday, not this weekend, the weekend after.
Lovely stuff. So what we're gonna do, we've got loads actually, way too many bets for one game, but we're gonna reel off our favourite singles, and then we combine to make a bet build 180 to 1. So stick around for that at the end of the show. And as I say, we'll probably be back Friday for the championship, and then as and when we can for League One and League Two. Hopefully before Saturday because I'm going and I'm gonna be in no fit state Sunday.
Me
But we'll
neither.
try our
So,
best. Hey?
oh well, we got Tottenham away on the Sunday, last away of the season. So I've got a London weekend as well, just like you. So neither of us will be in any state.
Yeah, so we'll try and get them done Friday. Markets enabling. Anyway, let's get into the Europa League final. Tottenham host. They don't host. They play Man United at Athletic Bilbao Stadium. And it's unbelievable considering the domestic season these two have had. That they're both in a European final and they could both get into the Champions League through the back door. Also interesting, this looks like no matter what the result, it's going to be Ange Postecoglou's swan song. But for Man United, they are firmly putting their faith in Ruben Amorim, and there's plenty of interesting narratives and quirks going into this game. For example, Tottenham resting and rotating in their games leading up to it. Man United opted for a different approach, but their league form is chalk and cheese, both clubs in the Premier League compared to on the continent, and it makes a pretty difficult game to unpack in terms of the 1x2 because you'd think with them playing domestically against each other that it'd be easy to get a read on how this one's going to go, but there's so much at play, it's not been at all. And the major factor is, for me, regarding Manu, is Højlund going to play? He's crap. He's been terrible, bless him. I really wish he was better because he seems like a likable guy, but he's not. He offers nothing. But the only problem is Man United haven't got anybody else. Potentially Mainu as a false nine, but that'd be a massive call for a final. And then Tottenham, I'm gutted because they're out without Kulusevski. Who's the other one?
Madison,
Madison and Bergval. And then
Bobo
Sonny.
might be fit. Bobo might be fit, which
Him and Sonny, though, aren't going to be as sharp as they should be. Yeah, interesting one. Gun to my head, I think Tottenham do it, though. Price looks a little bit too big at 2 to 1 for me. I'd have this as a coin toss. But if I had to have a bet, like put my colours to the mast, is that the saying? If I had
I
to
have
stick my
no
neck
idea.
on line. If I had to stick my neck on line, I'd say game settled on penalties at 9 to 2. Be my bet. I'm not picking a side. What do you reckon? General opinion on the game as a whole before we get into the bets.
Yeah, so I've got a couple things. I think it's because I got not I don't like Tottenham. Like, I don't like any other teams other than Brighton, but I've got that random club you just got a bit of a soft spot for.
Yeah,
It's always been like mine is with Tottenham. Like my mate from Uni Sports, he's on his way to be about now, I think, 17-hour coach getting. So just for his sake, I want Tottenham to win, and I think because I really dislike Man United as well, I want Tottenham to win. I was having this debate as well with Arsenal fans. I got shut down. I thought that everyone was saying I was crazy. If Tottenham win the Europa League, would you say they've had a better season than Arsenal?
100%.
Obviously, exactly. And then people say no because as a match going fan, you care way more about. If I was a Tottenham fan, I'd much rather have a season where you come 17th and win a trophy than come second and win any like nothing. It's not to discredit Arsenal being brilliant this season, but you'd much rather, as a match going fan, you'd much rather be in Tottenham's position than Arsenal's. Surely.
Yeah, short to mid term, there's a lot to be excited about with Arsenal, but the only thing that stands the test of time is achievements. I
Yeah,
mean,
exactly.
this is going to live forever with their fans if they lift a trophy, as it would with any football fan base. People aren't going to go back like 25 years time, going year 2025. Tottenham lifted the Europa League. Oh yeah, that was the season Arsenal finished second and really improved throughout the pitch. It's just yeah, I'm same boat as you. Trophies, and I think it's not controversial to say, but I think football match going fans are all on the same side as us. Anybody
Yeah,
like weird freaks who just, bleh,
on
you know what I
Twitter,
mean? Yeah,
them like
they're on
Twitter
the other
Arsenal
side.
fans that are like, oh yeah, but look how much we've built. We've improved from last season with 2 points. Like it's all well and good, but as a match going, I couldn't give a shit like where Brighton finished. I know I've never seen us win a trophy. Well, no Brighton fans ever seen us win a trophy, but like you'd much rather like just have the memories of like for example when we went to Europe, the memories. Even though we lost 4-0 to Rome and people take the piss, that was one of the best days of my life. Getting to watch Brighton at the Stadio Olimpico, I couldn't give a shit really what happened.
Same for me as a Sheffield United fan. Fondest memories, cup runs. Yeah,
Exactly, yeah.
not even winning competitions, but like the specific goals in cup runs. Chris Porte scored a pen against Forest, took us to Wembley. That was unbelievable. Just stuff like that. Way better than whatever. And we never do well in playoff campaigns anyway, so that's always shite. Right, into the bets. You kick us off because my favourite one is a certain winger. Oh no, it's not. Do a different one. Kick us off.
We've both got the same favourite bet, I think.
Yeah.
Um, so I will go. So I've got quite a few bets surrounding this one player that you quite like. So I'll go the other angle that I've got. I've got quite a few angles regarding Manuel Ugarte. So I'll reel them angles off. Here's a player who I think's absolute dog turd, and I said it before United signed him. Never rated him. He's just shocking. I don't think many United fans rate him. He can't pass. He's got no positional discipline. He just good in the tackle. That's about it. But going away from that, I'm going on him to have. Jimmy had a go at me for this because it's a cardinal
It's
sin for the
illegal.
podcast. Yeah,
It is illegal.
but since it's a one game special, I've sort of become illegal and gone one shot and two shots at 1.83 and fives. I've had 1.5 points on the 1.83 and half a point on the five shots. It's not really much explaining, really. He plays deeper with Casemiro, but Fernandez in the 10. Sometimes Amarim will sub him off and sub on someone like Mount or Garnacho and push Bruno deeper depending how the game's going. And a lot of the thinking is with Super Sub. Ugarte's all right for a shot. He's been better recently. But if you use Super Sub, and you can do this on Stat Sub, you can filter by Super Sub, which is what I use Stat Sub for all the bets for this. He's had a shot in 11 of his last 12 if you include his super sub. And 8 of these have seen at least 2. And in a game where cut 5e, I can see if you like not Tottenham sitting back, but if Tottenham on the back foot, pepper with them long shots, and I think Ugarte would be the one. And like I said, he could have Mount or Garnacho coming on for him, who are decent for shots. And then with that, I've gone shot on target outside the box at 15s, half a point on that. And finally, I've gone for his assist at 13s, half a point. And that's with Bet365. A lot shorter everywhere else, and like Sky Bet have it about 6-7 to 1 without super sub. And he's had 4 assists in 8 Europa League starts this season, 0.2 per season. He's not a very creative player, but I don't know. I think a lot of them would just be cheap assists. You know, we just pass it to someone like Bruno and he does the rest. But I was surprised how good his assist numbers are. So I just think it'd be rude not to have a half point on him to get an assist.
Jably, one of my bets is Harry Maguire 2 shots or more Betfair, 4 to 5, but it's similar prices everywhere. So anything over 3 to 1 is worth taking. To be honest, I'm just looking on stats of the graph, the wonderful graph that they do. I've set it to line of 30, last 30 games, and you can see from the graph quickly that it's only landed 5 times across his last 30 appearances, which is not ideal. And it's landed, yeah, 5 times this season, actually, which is weird. According to FBref, 5 times this season. But I just think given how I expect the game to go, Tottenham, I think they might score the first goal, to be honest. Even if they don't, the games could potentially reach a stage where Harry Maguire goes up front. I don't know. He's one of their biggest threats. They're probably their best chance of a goal, to be honest. He scored against Chelsea on Friday, had that disallowed. He's got 3 goals this season. All of them have been with his head, and all bar 4 of his 24 shots have come with his head, which is not really relevant to this, but it's just highlighting his set piece threat. And with Højlund up front, it's difficult to see really where else goals are going to come from in open play. Bruno Fernandes, Diallo potentially, but I think Man United's troubles scoring have kind of gone under the radar, but they have been struggling to score from open play. So set piece could play a major factor in this game. And if Man United go behind, I expect them to rack up the corners and whatnot. And this is where Harry Maguire's shots come into play. I was surprised, to be honest. It's only landed 5 times this season. Probably why you're getting 7-2. But given the dynamic of this clash, it's a final, and how I expect it, how I'm leaning towards Tottenham, I just think it plays into Maguire's shots. What we got next, boy?
Yeah, so the other player a lot of my bets are centered around that you like for this a lot. I'll leave one of the angles to you, but for my other favourite bets for this is Brennan Johnson and Dorgu to make one foul each at 2.1, another cardinal sin. And that's 1.5 points on that, and half a point on 2 fouls each at 9.5. Both with Bet365 again. Again, if you pop up the graph on Stats Hub, you can easily see Johnson's made a foul in his last 5 and 8 out of the 9 Europa League games with super sub. He's up against Dorgu, which is the main reason for this bet. And Dorgu draws 2.81 fouls per 90. So Johnson's going to be getting through a lot of work on Dorgu. Dorgu's the sort of player that will win a lot of cheap fouls. And yeah, I can see Johnson falling for the bait. And Dorgu's been fouled. Oh, Dorgu's made a foul in his last 8 and made 2+ in 6 of his last 8 starts. So you've got two players who are good record for fouling, playing against each other. I can see it being a good battle. I've been looking for you used to be able, well, you can, but they haven't priced it yet, players to foul each other market. So when they price the Dorgu to foul Johnson and Johnson to foul Dorgu, I'll be all over that. For now, I've just had 1.5 point on Johnson and Dorgu foul each at 2.1, and half a point on Johnson and Dorgu 2 fouls each at 9.5. So both to be booked 29-1 Bet365, half a point on that.
Looking, see if the foul matchups have dropped anywhere. Where is it that usually does it
Paddy
for
and
the
Paddy and
listeners?
Sky.
Well, let me just have a quick look because that is really interesting. I love the foul matchups. You can get such good prices, and it's literally pretty much the same, the exact same logic as backing them to commit fouls anyway. So it's a
Yeah.
really nice way of just squeezing out some extra value. Damn it, they ain't got it. Betfair usually do it as well, don't they?
Yeah, but I don't know. If I checked like 20 minutes before recording and they hadn't priced it.
Yeah, still nothing. Obviously, Betfair and Paddy Power, same shit, isn't it? Yeah, the bet you left out though was Johnson card. We're both having that 7.5, so 13-2 with Bet365. Drifted a bit, which is exciting. And for the reasons that Matthew's already outlined, he'll be opposing Dorgu, foul drawing machine. It's also worth noting Johnson he's quite a card happy player. He's got a cards per 90 average of 0.22, which makes this price of 7.5 value. Because if you directly translate to 0.22 cards per 90 into a price, it'd be just over 7-2, and we're getting 7.5. So there's plenty of value there. But it's worth noting, aside from his direct opponent, sorry, aside from his cards record, he's also got 2 cards in his last 3 appearances in Europe. And crucially, the referee is a beauty. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but his first name's Felix, and his
Zwaya, I
last
think.
name Zwaya. Is that how you say it?
No, I did German at GCSE, but that's as far as my German goes. But
Should know Zwaya, Felix Zwaya, you'll know what we mean. He's averaging just under 5 on the continent, but in the Champions League knockout stages this season, he's dished out 18 yellows and 2 reds in his last 3 games, like nearly 7 cards a game. And in the Europa League, he's brandished 31 cards in his last 4 knockout games. That stretches back to 21-22 season. So the referee's an absolute beauty.
what game was he
Johnson's
on? He was on a big
uh,
game recently, I think. And I think
Arsenal
yeah, and didn't he dish quite a few then?
6, I think.
Yeah, I was watching it because I had a few card bets, and he just loves it. He just doesn't hesitate as other refs do. So, yeah, Zwaya being the ref is a big factor for a lot of the card bets.
And a good, this is just absolute waffle. Based on the fact that I watched the Arsenal game, it felt like he's not the type um, to let fouls go like English refs are. You know, like niggly accumulation of fouls. Because sometimes you'll go on, you'll back a player and they'll commit like, not even exaggerating, like 4, 5, 6 fouls. Who was it the other day who committed a
There was someone
load?
that made 8
Slobberslide.
and didn't get. There was a game in Spain. I can't remember what game. Someone called Perez. He made 8 fouls and didn't get booked.
Yeah, which is sickening, and it doesn't seem right for Spain. I'm just looking. Gives around 19 fouls per game in the Champions League, and he's averaging, including red cards, around 6 cards, 6, 12, 18. So he's giving a card. Rough maths that I'm doing off the cuff. A card about every 3.5 fouls, which is brilliant because I fully expect this to be proper niggly. But Brennan Johnson 7.5. I also love Ugarte's price to be carded. He's 2-1 Sky Bet and 365. Recommend taking it on 365 if you can, because you'll probably be able to get more on. And you've got Super Sub just in case. I'm having a point on him. And his card record is staggering. So he's committing just over 2 fouls per game and just over 3.5 tackles. But he's in the Europa League and Premier League per 90, his yellow card average is 0.48. So in the most literal sense, if you translate that to a price, you'd expect 21 to 10. And that's without considering Europa League's record for cards, the referee, and the general occasion. So you said it were too short, 2-1, but I've got to disagree. I think it's massive for
No,
Ugarte.
I think for him it's massive, like in the
You were
context. But I just meant
slagging
in
it.
general. I just hate backing single cards below like 3-1 or 4-1. I don't know why. It's just a weird thing that I've always done. I do agree it's a massive price, and it was the one that stood out the most. And I was gonna have it in a few multiples, but I couldn't find a suitable double, so I just went with the Johnson and Dorgy.
You were slagging it absolute rotten a minute ago. Absolutely slagging it. Right. So I think that's all the bets. I got absolutely hoodwinked. I thought Solanke was 7-2 for 2 fouls. I was checking if I had my pants down. So I think that's all the bets, isn't it?
Yeah, I've obviously
Dog.
got a point on Johnson as well, so 2 points
Yes.
total on Johnson.
2 points. If that wins, that'll be 13 points profit. Yes, please. Super sub as well, because we're having it with 365. Well worth considering. That's it for that section.
Keep punting! Keep fucking punting! YTP, baby!
Final thing is we've combined to do a bet builder, 180 to 1. We've had a quarter of a point on it, and it's with 365. All we love 365. Everyone loves 365. They don't clip you. Well, they do, but they're one of the more lenient books. Super sub. Usually you can get away with higher stakes. I fucking love them. My selections are Harry Maguire 2 shots and Ugarte card. What have you got?
I've gone Ugarte 2 shots and Johnson 2 fouls. So if Tottenham go ahead like we think they will, that the game state is literally perfect for it. So praying for an early Tottenham goal.
Yeah, we've combined. That's why. That's why it's a bit of a weird combination because we've got a player to be carded and 2 shots, and we've got 2 players on the same team to have 2 shots each. So, but massive price. So we'll just see. We'll see. I've had it anyway. We can only wait and see. I think that's everything for this bonus show. Do you want to just recap your bets before we go?
Yep. Brennan Johnson card at 7.5 with Bet365. Johnson and Dorgu foul each at 2.1 and 9.5. 1.5 points on the 2.1 and half a point on the 9.5. half a point on them both to be booked to 29-1, then 1.5 shots on Ugate's shot of 1.83, and half a point at 5 for 2. Also had half a point on shot on target outside the box at 15s with Bet365, and assist at 13s with Bet365, half a point on that.
I have got Ugarte card 2-1, 365, a point and off on that. I'm also got Johnson card 7.5, 365, a point on that. Ugarte Johnson card double 20-1, half a point on that with 365. And then I'm doing Maguire 2 shots at 7-2, Betfair and Paddy Power, a point on that. And then we combined for 180-1. Bet Builder 365, quarter of a point on the following Ugarte card. Ugarte 2 shots, Brennan Johnson 2 fouls, Maguire 2 shots. But I'll be, as ever, I'll be posting the record on the YouTube video at the end. So if you're losing track of everything we've said, just go to the end of the video and you'll be able to pause it. And any bets you want, you should have them listed out in written form and the prices at the time of recording. Right. Thank you, Matthew.
Pleasure as always.
Pleasure as always. Friday's what we're thinking for the playoff semi-final bet builders. If there's no markets available for League One, League Two, we'll probably not be able to do them. So it might just be a championship special, but we'll be back on Friday. Best of luck with your bets in the meantime. Catch you on the Flippy Flip.